Hi, I'm Stephen Logan, a consumer attorney, and I'd like to tell you how the National Credit Act has been designed to protect you, the consumer, in times of financial crisis. Without bombarding you with legal jargon, it's important to know that this law has been passed to protect over-indebted consumers from creditors when they enter into a debt counselling program. The single biggest benefit of debt counselling is that of having a registered debt counsellor stand, as it were, between you and your creditors. No more threatening phone calls from credit providers, debt collectors, collection attorneys and their agents. Instead, your debt counsellor deals with your creditors directly to put a new payment plan in place. This payment plan protects your income, allowing you to pay your critical expenses such as your home loan, food and school fees. The result is a consolidated, reduced payment arrangement that is put in place by your debt counsellor. This payment plan allows you to pay your creditors less on a monthly basis. This makes paying your debt more affordable so you can get on with your life. It's about doing the right thing and paying off your debt whilst having breathing space to do so. However, it's critical to note that should you fail to pay the agreed or court-ordered installments, creditors can terminate the debt counselling process. This means you will no longer be protected by the Act and will also not be allowed to enter the program again. It is therefore critical that once you commit into the program, you stay committed. Now you're probably wondering if you're eligible. According to the Act, you have to be over-indebted. In other words, your critical expenses and debt repayments have to exceed your income. During the process known as debt review, a registered debt counsellor will be able to make a determination of whether you qualify for debt counselling. Your debt counsellor will review your financial information, including your income, expenses, assets and debts, to determine if you are over-indebted. The assessment involves a consideration of whether you could decrease your expenses, and if so, whether any savings made would cover any shortfall in meeting your monthly installments. The debt counsellor must also investigate whether it is possible to sell any of your assets, property, cars, furniture, to reduce your debt. Remember, the idea is to be free of creditor harassment while still being able to honour your debt commitments. It's not a process to guarantee the continuation of a comfortable lifestyle. At this point, I'd like to reiterate the value of the program. If you enter the program via a well-reputed debt counselling organisation, your journey ahead will be one of increasing freedom. So assuming you qualify for entry into the debt counselling program, there are a few more things I'm sure you'd like to know. Let's start with some of the most common questions posed to debt counsellors.
Thanks, Stephen. Now, the most frequently asked question seems to be, how soon am I protected from my creditors if I apply to enter a debt counselling program?
Well, once a consumer's over-indebted status has been determined, the application process starts. From the moment the application form is signed, the consumer receives 60 working days protection from any repossession or other creditor actions.
That is definitely a great comfort. However, consumers are also worried about those creditors, such as the banks, that keep harassing them whilst they are already in the program. I found some cases where debt collectors are sent to the homes of individuals demanding the handover of possessions such as cars and furniture.
Unfortunately, some creditors do not respect the law, and their actions are entirely illegal. Remember, your payment plan is endorsed by a court order, so no creditor has a claim to any possession of a person in the debt counselling program. These creditors should be denied immediately. Please do not hand over anything to them.
Now, Stephen, what of all the negative publicity surrounding the debt counselling process? What do you have to say to the consumers who worry about where their monthly payments are ending up?
Well, Sandy, it's simple. Debt counsellors are limited to the amounts stipulated by the National Credit Regulator. These fees are deducted from your monthly payments to your creditors. To this, there is an aftercare fee, the amount of which is also strictly regulated by the NCR. In fact, all fees are kept to an absolute minimum. Remember, the idea is not to enrich the debt counselling agency, but rather to get ahead and become debt-free. Indeed, debt counselling is a far more positive experience than many consumers today believe.
It certainly sounds positive, but are there any drawbacks?
Well, I think it's important to remember that there's still a debt burden to deal with. So without doubt, the biggest drawback is that it will take you longer to get debt-free. Debt counselling works by decreasing your monthly payments, and this means it will take you longer to pay off your debt. Of course, paying debt over a longer time period is much more expensive. Therefore, consumers should try to avoid debt counselling where it is not necessary. It really is a process designed to assist those consumers who have truly run out of options. The second drawback is that you are unable to get more credit while you are undergoing debt counselling and cannot make further use of your credit facilities.
While that is not necessarily a bad thing, taking a sabbatical from credit spending will ensure that new, healthy habits can form in its place. Habits founded on cash spending only.
Absolutely. There is nothing better than to be free of debt. Debt counselling is no easy fix, but it is a way to financial freedom if the consumer commits to the program and to a new life, a brand new start.